Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jason Flame, host of the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce Chamber Chat. And today we've got another great guest, and I can't wait to introduce him. And so here we go. This is Kris Dennis, who is the general manager of Tierra Rejada Golf Club in Moorpark, California, where he has led operations for the past 7 years. With over 25 years of experience in the golf industry, Kris brings a deep passion for the game and commitment to creating an exceptional experience for every guest. Tierra Rejada, managed by Arcis Golf, features an 18-hole championship course, top-tier practice facilities, and the popular ranch restaurant and bar. Kris lives in Oak Park with his wife and 2 sons and remains dedicated to growing the game of golf in the local community. Kris, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you very much, Jason. Happy to be here.
Hey, it's kind of cool. We got to chat a little bit before we got started, and we already have something in common. Your son does martial arts and just earned his black belt, so I thought that was a super cool connection right out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. As I'd mentioned, 10 years to achieve his black belt. Earn it, right? It's not given; it's earned. I'm sure you know that better than anyone. But a really special moment when he did earn that for my wife and I to see just the 10 years of perseverance pay off, and he's still going. Just because he got his black belt, he hasn't stopped. We're still having him go. When he goes off to college, he can make the decisions at that point what to do.
I love it. Absolutely. Hey, you know what? And kudos to you and your wife for sticking through it, because that 10 years, by the way, is not just 10 years of his discipline and focus. That's 10 years of your life that you've dedicated to his success. So I always think that, the parents should have some kind of certificate for being a black belt parent. But by the way, it's never too late for you to get started and follow in his footsteps, because I'm sure that you get him out on the golf course every now and again, right?
A little bit. Both. I have 2 sons. They like to be on the golf course. I think mostly it's just they get a few minutes to hang out with dad. So
Yeah.
I think it's mostly what it's about these days. But they enjoy it, and if they can enjoy it long enough where we can keep playing this game and do something for 5 hours every so often, even when they become adults, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I can't wait to learn more about you. We'll talk a lot about Tierra Rejada Golf Club. And for those of you that are watching live, let us know if you have any questions, anything you want to know about Tierra Rejada Golf Club, about their ranch restaurant, anything that Kris can answer. Please drop those comments and do us a favor. Share this video everywhere on every platform and subscribe to the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce YouTube channel. So here we go. Let's dive into the first question. You've been in the golf industry for over 2 decades. What originally drew you to this career, and what keeps you passionate about it today?
That's a great question. I actually had no intention of getting into the golf industry or business for that matter. Actually, my first 3.5 years of college, I was studying civil engineering, if you can believe that. And I walked into an advanced mathematics class one day in my flip-flops and my Hawaiian shirt, and kind of took a look around and went, I don't know if this is going to be the right career path for me. So I pivoted quickly to business, and I always enjoyed golf. And I thought, well, if you're going to do something for a career, why not do something you love and be involved in that? So I definitely got some opportunities into golf and married that business, which I love operating business, love building, love learning. And then I get to be around an amazing game of golf every day. And it's a game where you're chasing perfection, right? To the best of my knowledge, there's never been a score of 18 for 18 holes. But that doesn't keep people from going out and trying to get better and be better every day at the game. And that's how we're doing this here in business. We're trying to be a better business, better partners in the community for everyone every day. And so if we just keep that momentum going and that passion that we have for trying to just be a little bit better each day, then that's what keeps us all going here. I have an amazing team here at the facility with a great culture that we've tried to build over the last 7 years. And, it's really just being around them and the people and that strive to be better is really what keeps us going every day.
I love it. Golf, man, it is a tough sport to, I can't even say that I play golf. I go out and I hit the ball a little bit, right?
Sure.
But as soon as you hit one good ball, it's like a reset. You talk about chasing perfection and just all these things that we talk about in life. Golf really does kind of bring that out in us, but it can be so frustrating sometimes too, right? I mean, you've been playing a long
Absolutely.
time, and I have learned that the more expectations that I put on myself to play better, the harder the game gets. When I get out there and just relax, I don't keep score, just have a good time. I'm hitting the ball a little bit looser, having a better game, obviously enjoying it a lot more. It's just sometimes it's just such a struggle to find that sweet spot mentally, more than
Right.
physically.
Right. No, that's really what it is the mental game. And that's one thing that's changed tremendously for me as a golfer. Um, getting older is just maturing into that. Hey, it's just one shot, right? It's like if you had a bad day, it's just one bad day. What can we do to fix that? How can it and be better? But not even the perfect score you're chasing, but that one perfect shot, like you said, just you hit that one, you go, oh, that's the one. Or you make a 30-foot putt for who cares what the score is, birdie, par, bogey, double. You're like, but that's it. And it's just, I mean, you're outside, you're with friends. If you're playing as a single, you get matched up with people, they may not know, and you maybe you make new friends, but just, I don't know. There's something about being outside and just picking your head up and looking around, especially where we're at. We're on the hill
Yeah.
here, and you get the Reagan Library, and you get all the valleys here. Just some days I threaten I'm going to take my laptop in a chair and just go out onto the eighth tee, which is way up high, and just I'm going to work here for a couple hours and just
But
and see what's going on. But it's an amazing sport. It is extremely frustrated, but at the same time, you should find fun in that frustration. Robin Williams, the great comedian, did an excellent bit on golf and the game of golf and how frustrating it is. If you haven't ever checked that out, it sums up golf in about a 2-minute bit, and it's really outstanding.
well, speaking of comedians, I just have to ask you, did you watch Happy Gilmore 2?
Of course, I did. It's the same. It's again, everything relates back to golf. It seems it's expectations. I watched that movie. Yeah, who knows how many times, especially being in the golf business, but also being a teenager and in my 20s when that came out, and um, you just had to say, okay, it'll be fun. I'm sure there'll be some callbacks. Don't set your expectations too high. And I enjoyed it. Got to watch it with my kids and my wife, and they were all laughing and chuckling the whole time. It's silly humor, and again, with a house full of boys, that seems to kind of rule the way. But
Yeah.
we enjoyed it. We enjoyed a lot of nice surprises by some of the pro golfers that came out, and had some good cameos in there. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but Scotty Scheffler did a pretty nice job. Pretty impressed by him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more as far as that, that expectations again, like if you go into it expecting it to be, an award winner, I don't think that that's the case, right?
Right.
But it's Adam Sandler and it's a good time and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I had to ask. We're talking about golf, so I had to ask. But
You have to ask. And no, I don't try to do the Happy Gilmore swing because I like my shoulders and elbows being intact.
right, right. I've actually never tried it. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell me, Tierra Rejada Golf Club has been a local favorite in Moorpark. What do you think sets it apart from other courses in our area?
There's a lot of great golf courses in this area, a lot of nice facilities. If you're in this area or even within 25 or 30 miles, I mean, there's so many great options here. We're very fortunate to be in this area. If you're talking about golf and properties. But what I think sets us apart from the time that I've been here with Arcis and with the ownership and the partnership we've all created together is to just be a little different. I came up in this golf industry when Tiger Woods was getting started, and it's just kind of like open your doors and everybody wants to be the next Tiger Woods, and it was busy. But what can we do that's not always traditional? So what we've built with our restaurant and rebranding, you mentioned the ranch, rebranding that restaurant a few years back and bringing in the live music. Or at one point we had a golf ball vending machine in the golf shop, not to be like, a lower end or anything, but hey, that's a different fun idea. Let's go put that in there. And that's not in there anymore. But really trying to understand that people are here, they're spending money, they're trying to get this this release of maybe stress, or they just want to hang out with friends or whatever. What can we do to make your day as good as possible? Everyone knows the world is a crazy place. So can you come out here and just enjoy yourself for that amount of time? Can we make sure that we're doing everything you can to make your experience as fun as possible? And that's what keeps us going. And we're not we're Tierra Rejada Golf Club. We're open to the public. Everybody's welcome to come here. You want to come up here and get an ice water and have your dog sit on the patio and stare at the mountains? Fine. You want to come down to the driving range and practice? You've never hit a ball before? Great. You want to come onto the golf course? You're not very good? Fine. We have 5 sets of tees. We try to be accommodating. We try to be flexible. And we just want people to enjoy the time that they spend here. Mm-hmm. And that's the focus. How can we take care of our people, our employees, and make sure that they want to be here? So then that projects onto all the guests so that they know that we're happy they're here. And, I'm sure that that's every golf course's intent, but we live that. We really do. And the entire team here is bought into just the passion that there is about being at a place that you enjoy being at, whether you're a guest or an employee. And it's highly impactful. And I'm speaking passionately about it because that's how I feel. That's how we live. That's my life. This is how I feel about everything in life. And to project that into business is a pretty crazy and exciting thing. Just really love it.
Yeah, I love it. And speaking of doing, kind of fun things and outside of the box, my wife is watching, and she hosted a high school football fundraiser on your patio. And it was just amazing because it was a nice setup, nice little area. You had great food. Staff was great. So she was very happy to have the event there. And, you talked about passion. For a second there, I didn't even realize we were talking about a golf club, right? I was just listening to someone who was passionate about what he does, loves working with his team, loves growing with his team, loves having a place where people enjoy coming to work. I mean, I think everybody wants to work at a place like that, but not everybody is able to create that type of culture. So with that, what types of things do you do to really drive that culture within your team and really get everyone else to buy into that passion as well?
Number one is listen. I listen to all the staff. When we go through interviews and people are coming in, we let them know you all have a voice. Genuinely, you have a voice. If you've got an idea, let's hear it. If you've got a way you want to adjust something we're doing, let's hear it. We're not going to force you to do it, but you have a voice, and everyone here does. Look, collectively, I have a lot of experience. You said over 2 decades. That's great. Do I know even a fraction of the knowledge that there is to be successful in this world? No. Honestly, no. But if we surround ourselves with people that, whether they work 6 hours or 45 hours or whatever that may be, everyone's got a different life experience. Everyone's got a different level of knowledge. Everyone's got a different everything. And when we collect that together with people that want to be here and understand that their voice can be heard whenever they want it to be, it's so powerful. And I wish more places operated this way, which I think is why we're trying to do it. And are we perfect? Speaking of perfection in the game of golf, no, we're not. But we have a collection of people here that are really amazing people that want to they want to have a good time. They want to be at a place that allows people to feel that they can have a good time. And we just pay attention the best we can. What are you saying? What are you doing? The number of employees we have here is somewhere in the neighborhood of 65. They're all different personalities. We want to find out what each individual personality is, and then how that helps us and how we can help them just grow as a person. And if people leave here and they say that they've enjoyed every minute here and that's helped them move on to something bigger and better, well, then that's amazing. And we couldn't ask for anything more.
That's great. Well, I think this is good information, not just for people listening and learning about Tierra Rejada Golf Club, but any business owner listening right now could take a little bit of education here on how to treat their staff and how to create that type of culture that you have. Because it sounds like, you really enjoy what you do. You have a lot of passion about it. You have people that surround you that help build your team and make your team stronger. And I think that that's what, we all want in our businesses. So yeah, great job. Question, again, my wife is asking, because this is a thing with golf, right? Like, it's always like, what do I got to
Yeah,
wear? Like, do I have to, is there a dress code at Tierra Rejada?
there is when you play golf. So we'll start with that. On the golf course, we always prefer you're wearing a collared shirt. Things that would be golf appropriate. Obviously, if you showed up and you didn't have that, we would just talk to you about, hey, next time wear this again, talking about flexibility. We're not going to turn someone away. If you came in a t-shirt and you look like you're well dressed and you hadn't just, come off doing gardening for the last 3 hours, then that's fine. You look clean, you look nice, go ahead. We might say, hey, next time, can you wear a collared shirt, something like that. But we're not going to deny you access because of that. So for the golf course alone, that if you're coming to practice on the driving range, try to avoid tank tops. But if you're coming up to the restaurant, that is also a business within a business. If you're just coming up to enjoy the restaurant for whatever reason, just anything that you would feel appropriate going to any other restaurant. We have the same certificates and licensing as every restaurant in the county. Just because we're at a golf course, it's not like, hey, everything's different there. No, we actually follow all the same rules and have to abide by all the same everything. But that's more of the restaurant vibe. So pretty flexible, pretty casual, whatever you feel comfortable in that would be deemed appropriate, I think is not typically an issue.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for answering that question. We talked a little bit about the ranch. The ranch restaurant bar has built a strong reputation on its own. How important is food and hospitality in creating a complete golf experience?
For here, it's huge. Not every golf course or property has a full service restaurant. So we are fortunate that we have that here. We're able to serve quick people on the turn, calling their order in or going through our GPS system and putting it in that way, or sitting down after the round, before the round, again, not even playing a round of golf here. But it ties into the whole experience. People are coming here and they're paying a fee, and they work hard for a living, and they come in and they choose to spend a part of their day with us, and then they choose to spend some of their income with us. So we want to make it as valuable as possible to them when they're here. So that experience of golf, that's great. You want to get the excellent food and consistency and not care who's making it that day or anything like that. But as the whole experience of the property, whether it includes golf or not, the restaurant is very valuable to us because it's another opportunity for us to be a part of the community, featuring local breweries on tap or carrying their product and things like that. Just adds to the overall experience. But really what we're trying to accomplish here and just be good partners in the community, just be a part of it, someplace you can come and feel comfortable. And, the fact that you get that we've built that restaurant and the golfers get to experience that as well, I think that's pretty outstanding and not something that you do get at every property.
Mm-hmm. Now, because you can just show up and have a meal without playing golf, what are your hours for the restaurant, and do you serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
We do. We serve breakfast, lunch, and we're available for dinner. So I guess I should have answered the hours question first. We're open at 6:30 a.m. daily, and then the hours in the evening can vary depending on the time of year. Now you can expect someone to be here till about 8:30 or 9. In the winter, still golf kind of dictates the restaurant hours. In the winter, we might be here till 5:30 or 6. We do have entrees on there as well as what you would call golf course food. We have our excellent hamburgers and sandwiches and things, but we also offer steak frite or some excellent dinner salads and things like that are a little bit more appropriate if you want to just come and sit down and have dinner, but you can get that at lunch or any other time. But hours tend to flex a little bit. We are still working to get to the point where, regardless of whether the golf course is open or closed, depending on daylight, that you would have your consistent hours up here to come and get your meals. That's always been a goal of ours, and we continue to work towards that.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about, being involved in the community, giving back to the community, being a community partner. What does that mean? And give us some examples of how you work within the community.
First, anytime we can be a partner and be a site for people that are fundraising. I said your wife mentioned a fundraiser there as well. We've done some for some different communities here, cancer research and funding and things like that. Anytime we can be a part of any of those experiences and people can come to us and we can work with them and see what are their needs and what are their goals and how can we help be a part of helping them achieve that. So anybody that's out there looking for fundraisers, people love golf. We've had, casino nights and bingo nights and things here of people, different groups coming out trying to raise funds as well. So we have this property that's kind of a blank canvas, and we love nothing more than to help fundraise. That's when we love the weddings and the baby showers and all the other stuff too. Those are outstanding. And we just want people again to be happy and have a good time, but being able to really be a part of some of these groups that come in. It's just so much fun to see, and you can see that they're raising money for the cause that they believe so much in, and that we just get to be a part of that is really, it's exciting. I know I've probably overused the word exciting a number of different times, but that's what keeps me coming to work every day.
Love it. Okay, cool. And by the way, just before I forget, what are some of the other services? You mentioned weddings and fundraisers, and what are some other events? You guys also do some events. You mentioned them earlier. Music nights, comedy nights, different things like that. So talk about those things.
We've tried a lot of different things. Several years ago, we had a Superbia event here on the 18th hole, and there was just a ton of different local vendors out there and things like that. So we partnered with somebody who was raising money for the Boys and Girls Club and came out here, and that was a gigantic event. We actually closed the golf course to golf on a Saturday to have that event.
Wow.
So speaking of being a little bit different, I think a lot of people did think we were crazy. How can you close the golf course on a Saturday? Because some things are bigger than golf, and it's not something that we're going to make a regular occurrence, because we know that there's certain people that play golf and maybe Saturday's their only day, and we don't want to take that opportunity away. But there are instances where why not try something like that? Like you mentioned, the comedy nights, those are fun. We've had trivia nights out here in the past. That's become really big. So, we try those, and there's some other places that maybe do it better or bigger. And so we back off of that. We've had dueling pianos out here. We'll have another event, dueling pianos out here in September. And it's just anything that you can think of here because of our property and our location, we can do it. So, again, just want to come up and have a nice water, great, but you want to have a full event, we can make it happen and be happy to help in any way.
Great. Golf has seen a resurgence in popularity over the last few years. How have you seen the game and your guests change since you've been at Tierra Rejada? Yeah,
that it really has seen a resurgence over the last several years, and that really can stem from COVID. And such an awful thing that was ongoing and still out there. But golf was the only thing you could do really for a period of time, that you could get out and kind of at least see people. It was outdoors and it was safe, and it brought a whole new flow of people through, which I think is outstanding. People that hadn't played in a while, or people that hadn't played before. And you can see that guests come through. You can see that they're new and they're learning. Some funny things that came about is when we went back into golf carts, it was single rider golf carts a lot. So one person in a cart. At one point we had these plastic dividers in the middle, and that was really interesting. But that group of people thought, well, you get your cart all the time just by yourself. And so explaining, as we've kind of moved out of that in the last year, and a lot of golf courses have the same conversations, especially in this area. It's like, no, you get paired with people sometime. They were like, what do you mean? And so those were fun conversations and educating. And we still, we're still flexible in that way. But, I think golf prior to this, people went out on the golf course and they got to do it slowly, and they learned with people, and, they learned some of the etiquette and things like that. And I think a lot of the new people have come through and just say, oh, you just come play golf. And we forget that there's things that help the other players. They help the golf course, but it's really for the other players' benefits, like fixing a pitch mark on the green. The ball hits the green and takes a little chunk out of it and you've got to fix that. Or you take a chunk out of the grass in the fairway when you've hit a shot, putting your divot mix in there, or you step all in the sand traps or bunkers or whatever you want to call that, using a little rake to keep it clean. I think a lot of times the golf course says, well, that's the best for the golf course. It is, but it's really impactful for the people that are behind you, making sure that we're keeping things clean and going. From there, we actually have a program they implemented called Don't Be a Divot. Just kind of a fun play on things there. And people really have enjoyed that here. And it's just a simple reminder: repair your pitch marks, repair your divots, rake the bunkers, please. It's for the benefit of everybody. And so we've noticed that trying to educate or even re-educate people on people that have joined the game of golf in the last 4 or 5 years, that there's a couple other smaller things that will make your round even more enjoyable. It's not asking a lot. It keeps the rounds going. It keeps it fun and fresh for everybody. But when you're out here, you'll see the signs. Don't be a divot. Just help everyone out and help keep the course nice for everyone.
That's a pretty good one. You mentioned there are a couple other things that may help, with etiquette. What are just some of the other things that people should be paying attention to when they're out on the course?
Sure. There's some new, one new rule specifically, in the past that golf has put into place is, in the past, you hit your ball out of bounds, you have to re-tee or re-hit from wherever you just were. And that can take some additional time. For just the casual golfer now, there's a rule in place where if you were to hit your ball out of bounds, you don't have to re-hit there. You can go to where it went out, come back, take your penalty, and go play from there. That speeds up rounds tremendously. At our course specifically, we have a lot of native area around here, and that's identified as a lateral hazard. You don't have to re-hit from where you were. You can actually go to where your ball went in and put it down on the ground and hit, and there's a 1-stroke penalty with that. Or you don't have to count it at all. Who cares?
Right.
But those things that keep the pace of play going. If you can't find your ball, limiting that to 3 minutes, just making sure, hey, have a look for 3 minutes. It's good. I can't find it. Chances are around here you found 2 other balls anyway. And so you put one of those down and you go play. Again, pace is being aware of what you're doing. You've paid your fee, and we so much appreciate the people that come out and pay their fees to come out and enjoy our amazing property. But so has everyone else at the golf course. And we want to make sure that they're enjoying their pace and moving along just as much as you are. And so there's some small things like that as far as how to play the course that you can actually move forward and not have to re-hit every time you hit a shot that isn't great. You want to do that every so often, fine. But maintaining the pace, I think, is a big thing for most people at most golf courses. And just making sure people are aware there's some rules out there that allow you to do that. You don't have to be so strict on the rules. We're not all playing in the PGA Tour. So whatever can kind of keep you moving and keep having a good time, and everyone else on the golf course doing the same is always a good thing.
Well, I can tell you that that's one of the things that saves me a lot. If I look for more than a minute for a ball, I'm like, it's gone. it's
I play that way too, honestly. Just like,
grab another
hey,
ball and
go. For your
go.
ball? No, it's good. There's a cactus up there. I'm not going.
Right. Or snakes or something.
Always something.
Let's talk about this last one. And,
Sure.
you brought up earlier when you closed the course on Saturday that, some things are just bigger than golf, right? And this question is, as someone balancing a demanding career and family life, how do you find time for both? And has your perspective on leadership changed as a father?
That's a really a great question. I still work on balancing my career and my family. I've gotten much better at it over the years. I used to be really awful at it, and kind of by choice. Just, hey, I'm dedicated. This is my job. Or even getting here 7 years ago, the place was in a different position back then. And just, working all the time and making sure, look, we don't want this to fail. We can make it work. We can happen. We're doing this for the owners. We're doing this for the company we work for. We're doing this for the community. We're doing this for our employees. And my wife would ask me, oh, you're working 6 days again? Oh, you're going on Sunday again? And my wife is amazing, but just dropping those hints like, don't forget that we are also important. And my family is the most important thing to me in the entire world. And you have to look at that and what's the trade in that. If I have a lot of things to do at work one day, I can explain it to them and they get it. But maybe I go into work at 6 a.m. so I can be done at 3 p.m. so that I can go to the basketball game. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I, go in at noon because I have to take one kid to a camp or to school that morning and I got to go in later and I stay later. But being present in my family's life, being there for my wife when she needs me, sometimes being there when she doesn't need me, and being there for my kids who are 16 and 12. And if I decide to completely prioritize work over family, then I will have looked up and they'll be gone. And I'll say, what was it all for?
Right.
So just getting creative on when to be at work and when to not. It's not an easy thing to do. The golf course is open every day. So there's a lot of hours to be here. So, just that has to be variable sometimes in making that work. And as far as leadership, that's a great word. I don't view myself as a manager, and we don't feel like we're developing managers here. We can manage our time, we manage our schedules, we can manage these different things, but having ideas and thoughts and things that we want to do and getting people to go with you. I want people to run through a wall, and the best part is I'll be there right next to them running with them. And being a dad and the perspective on these people and how you're molding them and how you influence them, the good and the bad. Let's be honest, if we're a parent, then it's not all perfect all the time. It just isn't. And you learn, and they teach you that you can take that to all the other people. Not that I view everyone here as my children, but that you listen to them, you pick up on their cues. They are different. They're different people. They're different than you, but also the same. They will pick up on all of your good habits and your bad habits. And there's just been a much bigger recognition in that with my family and my children, and said, there's so much that you can apply to everyone that works here. It's life. It's okay for those things to be similar. I don't have to compartmentalize my job and my family and don't have to be a different person. It can be the same person. I can be who I am, and people will come with you, and some won't, and some will disagree, and you'll learn from those disagreements. And it's pretty interesting on being a dad and how much that actually mirrors being the leader of a business. It really is a lot of the same thing, as it's a lot of the same thing every day. And it's pretty special to be a father. I mean, it's the most amazing thing that I will ever do. I know. And it's great.
Well, you've got a lot of, great years ahead being in that middle school to high school, especially if your kids are playing sports and doing activities. My kids are now 20 and 23. So that time has passed where, I remember exactly what you're saying. You want to be there for the baseball game or the dance recital or for the events. And sometimes, you got to push work, because at some point, like for me now, those times are past. Like my kids are both working, right. I don't have to, I don't have the activities to look forward to, but you have several years ahead of you. And I'm happy to hear that you've, already had that thought in your mind that when it's done, it's done. So, take advantage of that time now.
Yeah, we try, like everything else I said, just trying to be better every day, be a better leader, be a better friend, be a better father, be a better husband. That's all you can do is try. And that's the effort that we're putting in, and we'll keep doing it.
Well, awesome. Hey, it's been a great time chatting with you. We're a little bit over our time, but that's okay. We've had a great conversation. I think if people were really listening in on this conversation today, maybe they learned a little bit more than just Tierra Rejada Golf Club. Maybe to take away some tips to bring back to your business. I love your view on culture and team and growth, and those are things that I think could help any business owner if they're really listening for that. But if anybody wants any information about Tierra Rejada Golf Club or contact you, how would they do that?
You can follow us on social media, of course, at Tierra Rejada Golf Club. You can check out, get more information on us at tierrarejadagolfclub.com. can always then reach out to us individually. A lot of different emails and things on there. If you had anything specific for me, it's kdennis@arcisgolf.com. Always available via email. I have a watch, a phone, all those things. So even if I'm in a game, I can still communicate. That's the one thing still working on, but you can get a hold of us, any specific questions, anytime about anything. We're here for everybody, whatever you need.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, guys, listen, that's it for today on our chamber chat. You know how to get in touch with Kris, and go check out the course, go check out the ranch restaurant, and we'll see you guys on the next chamber chat next week. Thank you very much, Kris.
All right, Jason. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Have a great day. Enjoy the course. You get to be on it every day.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully
pretty
I'll
amazing.
see you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. See you later.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.